Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Danny's Life and Travel. And once again, I'm a little late with these videos. I can't seem to get them on Saturdays anymore. It's just been too busy. So it looks like we'll be doing them Monday or Tuesdays. So here's my update for AMD once again. What's happening with it, and what has happened over the past week, and what I see happening in the future. This time it's going to be a lot shorter term. I'll discuss what's happening in the shorter term and where we're going, instead of a huge long term kind of prediction. So previously I mentioned that my price target was $17 to $20. That still remains the case, but in the short term I see some issues. So in the past week, you can see on this chart that I've got in front of me, Monday was good, Tuesday was good, that's last week, and Wednesday was good, and then Thursday it starts to take a dip. It goes down, but after holding it for 6 months and seeing all the ups and downs, I actually sold out a majority of my stake at about 1368. I think it was 1368, and then it comes down even further, goes back up. But since that time, it has gone further down, right? So the key point is that it is volatile, and before earnings, I am hoping that it will go down to 12.5. And the reason for this is, if I can show you on this chart here. So let's see. So the reason for this is this. So it builds up, comes down, builds up, comes down, builds up, comes down, and the next point where it should come down to is about 12.5 on this chart. So if you just look at the average, how much is going up, it should be about 12.6 to 12.7, something like that. But anything below 13 will be a buy, and that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for before earnings it'll come down to that level, and then I can buy it. Now, what if it doesn't go there before earnings? What's my plan? My plan is to buy anyway. So I'll explain to you what I see as the issues right now. So you've seen the chart, you've seen where it's going. This is, I'll just explain to you what's been happening. So Netflix had its earnings last night. So we're on, and this is Tuesday morning. So Netflix had its earnings last night, and it was up by about 10-11% because it had good earnings. Now, this should have reacted by quite a lot. I mean, we were up by 0.5%, and then it went back down. So that shows me there's still a lot of weakness within AMD. Still a lot of uncertainty, a lot of weakness. So, and I think NVIDIA did better. It was up more than AMD. So in after hours. So it makes me think that, look, it's not as strong as people think it is, and it could be headed down before the earnings anyway. So there's still about another, I think, 3 or 4 days left before earnings. So let's just go through what are the issues. So far, one of the peaks, if you look on here, I think it was this peak, this one. So actually, this one was this was the cryptocurrency peak. This is what happened with the cryptocurrency boost, and then after that you had the this was the Epic launch, and this is really good. Yeah. So Epic launch, cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency situation right now is, if you go on Amazon, they sold out. It says so you got Sapphire, that's 580. I was looking for 480. But anyway, if you look at available for pre-order, not in stock, order now, will deliver when available. Not in stock, order now. It's the same thing I checked with the RX 480, which I put in the search results. I don't know why I came up with this crap. But anyway, it's the same thing with RX 480, RX 470, and now RX 580. So they're not in stock. So that's the positive thing about it. But the negative part about this is that this was all built on cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency went up, Ethereum went up, and you can see it went all the way up to nearly $400, and now it's been heading down, 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 down. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the same, it went up and up and up, and now it went down, right? And plateaued around the $2,000 mark, and then a little up. So this was all based on cryptocurrency. Now, cryptocurrency, the issue is in 2013 they had a run up, And then after the run up, everyone was happy, really happy that the G, the GPU suppliers, the manufacturers like Nvidia and AMD, they were happy that they sold a lot of GPUs. But then what happened is when it slowed down, when it came down, and the price of the cryptocurrencies came down like it is doing now, people started dumping the graphics cards on the market. They started to sell them secondhand, and that flooded the secondhand market. And because of that, the stock price for these companies came down as well, right? Because all of a sudden they're not selling any new cars, because people are buying the second-hand ones because they're far cheaper, and there's oversupply of the second-hand cards. There's so many that the prices are next to nothing. So why buy something that's new and about 10-20% faster when you can buy something that's older and you get the majority of the performance with relatively low cost? So that's what people were doing right back then, and this has been a big issue. I've been thinking. So one of the issues we had with AMD, so they're talking about how AMD beats Skylake as well. But before I talk about that, I just want to mention my concerns around the cryptocurrency thing. The cryptocurrency thing is, so at the end of this quarter, when we have the earnings next week, the big worry is that when they announce the earnings, everybody knows it's going to be a beat. It will be earnings. That's not the problem, right? And if it was normal, if it was a normal situation where they just beat earnings and the stock goes up, that would be fine. But with this stock, we've seen what happened. Where's it gone? At this point, what was this? This was they came in line with earnings. So technically, it should have gone sideways. Yeah, instead of going down. But what killed it, what brought it down, really, was forward guidance, right? And what will forward guidance be? And I want to break it into segments. So forward guidance on cryptocurrency, I think, will be negative, right? So as it just depends how much of the income came from cryptocurrency, right? I think it'll be a sizable chunk, but again, I don't know exactly what percentage. But then you've got Epic launch, you've got the server CPUs, which are high margin. You've got Ryzen high end, which are high margin. And then you got RX Vega, RX Frontier Edition, that's already out, and RX Vega coming, which are high margin. So again, all these might offset the decline in the graphics cards for cryptocurrency. But I expect forward guidance for cryptocurrency to be negative, and at the same time, I'm thinking if it depends on how the market takes it. If there's one thing you get information, there's another thing how you perceive it, how you interpret that information. So if the market interprets that as being hugely negative, and not applying logic and reason to it, we could have another one of these all the down. So that's the problem. That's the problem. It's if the market went off logic and reason, yeah, if they just went through logic and reason steps, then we wouldn't have had this. This would not have happened. Would have continued sideways, maybe a little bit down, but then all this news would have come out and it would have gone back up, yeah, and would be at this situation. This situation would not have happened. So if they apply logic and reason, they'll see it like this. They'll say, okay, hey, yes, cryptocurrency will not be, in the future may not be great, and AMD is launching a specific card for cryptocurrency, so they are preparing for it. They are. So in the future, this kind of thing doesn't happen. They'll buy the cryptocurrency cards, and those cards, when people try to dump them, no one will buy them because they're designed specifically for cryptocurrencies. So it won't affect AMD's other products, and that's a smart way to do it. Nvidia's done the same thing. AMD will do the same thing as well. Now, for now, we still have the issue. So based on logic and reason, you should say, hey, okay, so cryptocurrency is going to go down, but then we have Ryzen, we have Epic, we have RX Vega, RX Frontier, we have the laptop CPUs coming, the APUs coming, the integrated CPUs with GPUs. Those should be coming as well if they're not already out. I think there's Ryzen Pro that's out, but all of that should offset this one little thing with the cryptocurrencies. That's logic and reason. But the market doesn't always go with logic and reason. There's a lot of expectation, and when those are not met, this is what happens. In the longer run, so my idea is I'll buy before earnings, I'll hold it. If this happens again, I'm okay, I'll go long again, just like I did last time. And my price target is the same, $17 to $20. But I am looking at $12.5 or 12, higher 12s before I get in, because I don't want to get in, at a higher price, because we know it's going to come down based on this trend. So I am hoping this trend continues before earnings, and it is volatile anyway. So they may get scared by some news article or something, and it comes down. But if you're not in it, or if you're nervous, I would say to you, don't bother. Just leave it alone. You will see at one point this stock will be down by 20 or 30%. It will come down. It will tank to some extent. Then get in. Keep it dry powder. So I have those two options. I have one, I can go in before earnings, right? And ride the earnings. Or the other one is wait till it tanks to some extent, which it will eventually, and then buy in. But in the end, I expect it to go to $17 to $20. That's it. So that's my take on this. Let's go on to the other news articles that I got on here. So why Epic beats Skylake? So this talks about why the Epic CPU and the server CPU beats Skylake. I think there's the price, the performance. So Skylake can't beat it on that, number one. And the other main issue is single socket. So Epic's got an advantage on the single socket side. And then the third one is Infinity Fabric. Infinity Fabric is the biggest one that AMD has, biggest advantage, because it allows them to scale up without losing performance. It's near perfect scalability, right? On top of that, because they're using Infinity Fabric, they're using smaller, smaller chips. They can produce them at a lower cost, and then that means that when they're producing them and getting them from global foundries, they get a higher yield. So like I've said in previous videos, they produce a wafer, and they can only use so many chips based on that wafer. And if you have something that's smaller, a smaller chip, then you get more usable chips on there. And I think AMD has about 80% conversion rate, 80%, which is really high, really good. So that's another positive thing to think about earnings wise. But yeah, that's what I see with it. So we have that news report done. What else was there? Yeah, so this is about the cryptocurrency. NVIDIA and AMD might not be riding cryptocurrency mining wave for much longer because it's been coming down. We know that Ethereum and everything's been coming down. I just explained that. So that's the other story. So I'll just get out those two. And these are the cryptocurrency side situations. So what do we have right now? So let's move this forward. So what we have is it's declined right now. And traders are keeping a close eye on it. So am I. I want it to go down a little more, so then I can buy in. And what else? So nothing much more after that, I don't think. Yep, nothing much more after that. So where do I expect it to go? $17 to $20 I think is fair value. I think there's been an upgrade I saw somewhere in one of these articles where someone's upgraded it to $20, which is no surprise. People are catching up to that. So more and more people are saying now $17 to $20, $17 to $20, that's what it should be. But it's fine, it takes time for the analysts and everyone else to catch up to what everyone else already knows. But in the meantime, will there be volatility? Don't panic if you think you've missed the boat. Don't do any of that, because there'll be an opportunity. It won't go up in a straight line. You'll have a dip, buy on the dip, and then ride it up. better to buy on a dip than to buy on the high, because then you lose money. So at 14.5, there's a high percentage chance it'll come down, because that's very high resistance, at that point. So you can see it there. It's got 14.5 there, not even 14.5 there, and it's already down. The other thing I was worried about was a double top forming. So anyone who does charts knows what double top is. I was concerned that this may be a double top here. If that happens, then it's a bearish trend after that. From everything I've read, that after that it tends to come down. But if it does come down again, I'm buying in. If you haven't bought in and you're nervous, leave it alone. When you see a decent dip, buy in then. If you're in it, stay in it. Now that you're in it, and if you want to sell and do what I'm doing, do that. But I would say get in before earnings. That's what I'm doing, getting in before earnings and leaving it alone. If it dips, let it dip for the let it dip and come back up. If it goes up after earnings, let it go up by 10-20%, yeah, and then sell, take your profit, wait for another dip, buy in again. You can do it that way, or you can hold for the entire year. I held for the first 6 months. Look where it got me. It was pointless. I could have just sold in February, yeah, and made more money and come out. The other thing that affected me was the pound. So the pound basically rallied. So I bought in 1.225 around here, I think it was, and then so that's like $11.6 in December, and then the pound came up, so it's at 1.30. So that took about a good 8%, and that around here it was fine. I should have sold out here, but then it rallied, so that took away about a good 8% of my gains. That's why it took a hit. But right now I'm out and the pound is going up, so we're okay. And you can look at the pound situation. I mean, obviously I'm doing it from the UK, so this is why we have this issue. So around March time, this is where I should have sold. Yeah, would have been okay. Would have still lost a little bit, a couple of percentage points, but nothing like what I lost now, which is huge. So these are last year's gains. I guess I'm giving them back. So last year I made about 15-20% on the decline in the currency because I was in the dollar, and this year we're giving some back. But it's okay as long as it takes it slowly. It should be fine. But in the past couple of days since I sold, this is where I sold, out there. So it's come up. So when I'm not making money on the stock, I'm making money on the appreciation of the pound because I'm in the pound, right? So either way, it's a win-win. And the stock has come down, so it means I'm still doing okay. So this is where we're at, guys. I wish you all the best for the coming week and beyond. I may do one more video before the earnings, but it's very doubtful. I'd probably wait till after the earnings to do another video now. But if you're in the stock, I wish you all the best, guys. I hope you make money. I'm hoping to make some money. And by the way, when I did come out, I came out at a profit. I think it was £5,000 to £6,000. I left a couple of thousand in there. Took the other £4,000 out with my money, and then again that'll compound in the future, and I'll move it forward. So it just goes to show, if you wait too long, sometimes it's a bad idea, and if you don't wait long enough, sometimes it's a bad idea. So you have to balance it out and think. But I have learned good lessons. I've learned that if there is a product launch, sell a day or two before the product has launched. If there's a hype about a new product, really something that's meant to be a game changer, 1 day or 2 days before that launch, sell it. That's the lesson I learned here, because the next day it launched and it wasn't as people expected it. So downward trending. But anyway, guys, take care. See you next time. Danny out.